Councilman Christopher Harsh.
Okay. Mr. President, colleagues, I wanted to share something that happened. I try to be cognizant of the community I'm talking to here, but I want to share something that happened on Friday with everybody so that everybody knows what happened. Last Friday, which was October 3rd, at 11:16 in the morning, Idea Stream Radio hijacked the airwaves of WCSB. They hijacked them at 11:16 a.m., and at 11:35, almost 20 minutes later, President Laura Bloomberg met with students on a Zoom call for 13 minutes. And in 1/2 hour, 50 years of community, culture, and history in Cleveland was obliterated by Idea Stream Radio. They spent months planning behind the scenes to take over the signal without telling anyone. The station engineer had no idea this was happening. They orchestrated all of this. They didn't tell anybody. They locked the students out of the radio station, disconnected their key cards. They didn't have access to their own music collections or their personal effects inside the station. But the really big deal here is that, as the one gentleman said earlier, our community is a fabric of cultures. It is a diverse group of people that we bring together as a city, and I don't think anyone exemplified that diversity better than WCSB or the college radio community in Cleveland. Just for instance, every week they had radio shows dedicated to Hispanic, Hungarian, Slovenian, Polish, African, Asian, Arabic, and German musics. Just that community, put together by people from that community for their community. Not to mention all the other different genres of music. There was a reggae hour, there was a metal hour, there were a few of those. They had up to 98 different shows every single week, programmed by up to 98 volunteer student DJs who didn't get paid. They were volunteers who came in because they loved music. I want to tell you about one of those shows. It's called Anti-Urban Contemporary Thang. It was hosted by Herb. Herb hosted this show for decades, and he used to have his show from 3 to 5 on Friday afternoons. And when I painted houses, I got the guys on my crew to all tune in to CSB on Friday afternoon and count down to the end of the week. And Herb did a 2-hour show, and his 2-hour show worked like this. He started at the beginning of recorded music, late 1800s, early 1900s, and played nothing but black artists. So he would start with gospel, hymn. He would move into blues. By about halfway through the show, he was into the jazz and rock of the 50s. The second hour would go through soul, funk, R&B. He'd end up with hip hop in the last half hour. And he curated the African-American experience every single week for 2 hours because he loves his community and he loves music. And Councilman Conwell knows there is no better way to know a people than through their music. And WCSB educated Clevelanders throughout the region on not just African-American music, but Slovenian and Polish and Hungarian, Czech. There was the German radio hour, not my favorite music, but the German people love it, and they had a place to tune into to get their fix. And they did this for people for free, at no charge. And the difference between streaming online and terrestrial radio is cost. Everybody has a radio. Grandma's got a radio. There's a radio in every single house in this town. You can just tune the dial and you might find that sound that changes your life. And it is no understatement to say that college radio pieced together a community that could not exist without it. And WCSB did that for 50 years, and IdeaStream ought to be absolutely ashamed of themselves. And I hope that we can hold them accountable. I've already canceled my membership. I know that other people have as well. We can demand that IdeaStream return programming to the student group. Cleveland State University retains the license for 89.3 FM. They hold the license for WRUW. They could turn programming back over to the students like that. It's simply a choice. There are a couple other things that I want to let you know that we can do. Oh, I'm sorry, I just want to give you a few more facts. If anyone thinks that WCSB was a financial strain on the college, they're wrong. The college spent, on average, $40,000 a year on this radio station. That's not even a full-time employee. The students raised about $40,000 to $50,000 a year in their radiothon and covered half their costs themselves through volunteer, student-run radiothons. So the station was not cost, the budget for CSU is about $140-some million a year, 146, 147 million. So to spend $40,000 on a radio station is not preventing any other programs from happening. It's not preventing any other athletics or anything else. There's going to be a silent protest tomorrow in the plaza between the Student Center and Rhodes Towers. That's going to be from 11:30 to 12:30. I encourage people to reach out to IdeaStream and let them know that this was a dumb idea, to let them know that we can cancel our memberships until they return this back. And I just want to emphasize one more time, what makes Cleveland a beautiful place is the amount of people that we can support in our community. Not just the mainstream, not just the normal folks, but those weird misfits that need their own island. Those people that don't belong anywhere else. Those people like me that tuned in the middle of the night and discovered grindcore. All right? We need a place to go. We need a home. And college radio gives us our home. It gives us a place to say, I belong. And it gives that place to thousands of people. And I don't think the people that run CSU, Dr. Laura Bloomberg, or the people that run IdeaStream understand how important this has been to the cultural fabric of Cleveland. So I just wanted to share that with you all so that you know what happened, and so that when this comes up while you're out and about, it doesn't surprise you. And to please help us lean in on IdeaStream to hand programming back over to the students. Lastly, IdeaStream thinks that culture is something you program, but the DJs at WCSB know that culture is something you create. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Michael Polinsky.
Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues, honorable mayor, I'm not going to reiterate. Chris summed it up perfectly because I got the email before I came into the council meeting. But what Chris forgot or overlooked, they had the CSU police go in there and escort all of them out. I want to say that again. They had the CSU police escort all of them out. Now, I would respectfully ask you, Mr. Chairman, I would ask for you to call a meeting together with IdeaStream here at City Hall in the council offices. They need to, this is no way to operate. That's like the Gestapo going in there and marching them all out. And that's what they told me. They marched them all out like they were robbers and thieves, and they didn't do anything. That's the way they were treated. So I'll leave it up to you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I did just get notified of that this afternoon, too, so we'll figure it out.